Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Insta-Rom Podcast. I'm your host, Chris, and with me, as always, is Kyle.
It's me, guys, for the first time.
Yeah. So we've talked about Kyle like too much on the show, probably.
It's kind of weird.
Fucking loser who's always around. We'll get into Kyle in a little bit. Today's episode is about the garbage that he chose to watch this season of anime. It's going to be a recurring episode. You know, it comes before our summary of all the different shows this season. It's going to be a little special. Maybe we'll have Juan next time, but this time Juan is celebrating Navidad in Mexico or whatever. He's doing family shit.
Yeah.
So he's gone. So what's new, Kyle? What's some Christmas stories now that we're, Christmas is done?
Christmas stories. Like, what have I been up to, or?
Yeah, just general Christmas stories. If you know the story of Christmas, feel free to give us a little piece of that.
I do, actually. Christmas wouldn't exist if it weren't for Santa Claus's constant battle against Jack Frost. I think everybody knows that.
Most people do.
You were there for that.
I was there for that. Well, I wasn't there, but I was listening to the story of when that happened.
No, how was your Christmas, by the way?
It was different. It was pretty chill. My sister isn't home for Christmas, so she wasn't around, which is kind of weird because she's the person that I go to whenever I'm like, oh man, shit's fucking difficult. And then I'm just like, yo, dude, like, sucks, right? And she's like, dude. And that's how we do it.
Because you're not super into the family holidays, are you?
Nah, not like usually. I'm not a very social person. And like, even though I know my family, it's also like, I don't know my fucking family. We don't have like any shared interests. But Christmas Eve, I spent it with my moms. And it was just like my great grandpa, my grandma, my mom, and her fiance.
Yep.
And it was a good ass time, just super chill. Didn't even do much. We just had like soup and then opened some gifts and hung out.
And then
chill time.
And then you came back home, right?
Yeah. And then I just, came on back home. I don't actually remember what happened after that. I think it was just like a really mellow, chill day.
I mean, we played Heroes of the Storm.
No, we did play Heroes, and it was,
till
it was
2
a good time.
a.m.
And then the next day, of course, we had to wake up a little bit earlier, which was fine. And then I had a great Christmas morning with Josh and Leandra. We opened our stockings and gifts and stuff, and it was a good-ass time. And then after that, went over to my dad's, and we just like made food all day. That's essentially it. Like it was one meal, and it would have taken like an hour to make, but instead it wound up taking like 4 or 5 hours. I don't remember, but it was all right. It was fine. It was just my dad and I. My sister wasn't around, so it was like kind of weird. Yeah, definitely weird. I don't know if you've ever had a Christmas where it's just like you and one other person, but it's for sure different. But it wasn't bad. I was surprised. It was like pretty chill, dude. So good shit.
Yeah, on almost had Thanksgiving. Christmas Eve, I obviously spent the night at the house I'm at, which is where my mom and stepdad are.
Yeah.
We were making dinner like all day because I wanted to make these potatoes.
Yeah.
We get it's like smashed potatoes.
Yeah, pretty much. You just like cook them a bit, and then you smash the fuck out of them and make them taste awesome.
Yeah.
But they're not mashed potatoes. You just like crush them.
Cook them a little bit, smash them with the bottom of a mug, and then salt, pepper, oil, bake, turn over, salt, pepper, oil, bake, take out, garlic, oregano, bake, and then take out again. And then you're supposed to serve them then. But we had to like do this really weird prime rib cook.
Okay, sure,
thing that my sister saw on Pinterest that requires you to put it in the oven for 3 hours and never open it once. I thought it was a dumb idea because it's Pinterest.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So after I finished the potatoes, my mom's like, we should keep them warm in the crock pot. So we did. When it was time to eat, they cooked a little bit more. So they weren't burnt, but they were very, very hard.
Oh, man, what a bummer. So it wasn't nobody's clothes went flying off and like nobody started moaning or anything.
No
it wasn't
food
like
wars
a
here.
Food wars Christmas.
No food wars. I was actually really
disappointed
because I'd spent like a good few hours working on those by myself.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer.
And the prime rib was all right. It was like super salty. Actually, everything was really salty.
Dude, salt's great, but butter's better. Let me tell you. Give me a little bit of salt in that butter, though.
Like, I like medium rare, sometimes rare.
Sure, yeah.
But that prime rib was...
Dude, prime rib is one of the, like, bloodiest
That was
sons
red,
of bitches.
And that was a bit much for me.
Yeah, well, it's fine. What kind of anime-themed Christmas gifts did you get?
Well, since my Europe trip was my mom's side of the family's present, we only like gave each other like
one gift. Yeah.
So I got my sister that hair thing we bought at Target.
Yeah, crazy straightener, but like it does special crimping.
Yeah, it's like a wave thing.
Yeah.
And then I also ordered her some pug socks. Mm-hmm. She's obsessed with those little monsters.
Just the socks or like the dogs?
Just the socks.
All right, so she's just obsessed with the socks. Gotcha.
Oh, no, what's she obsessed? Oh, she's obsessed with the actual dogs.
No, I know.
Okay.
All right, good.
Bitch. And then I got, from David, I got this, like, really crazy model painting apparatus thing.
Oh, yeah, that'll be
That has,
really
like,
cool.
a magnifying glass and a light and, like, clamps. And this like weight at the bottom to hold it still, because I play like tabletop war games, so I have models to paint. So that was cool. That was really all that. And then spent the night. Morning came, ate our food, hung out.
Yeah.
And then me and my sister got ready and
like time to fuck on off to Sacramente's.
Rambled all the way to Folsom. Where my dad, my stepmom live, and we ate lunch.
And what's their address?
Oh, you already know it.
Oh, okay.
It's the prison in Folsom.
Perfect, great.
And so we had lunch. It was super good. We had ham, macaroni and cheese, spinach salad, and rolls. And
yeah, dude, your dad's a crazy cook.
It's just stupid. It's like, what's your dad making? It really doesn't matter what it is. It's going to be fantastic.
What are all the different restaurants that he's opened up? Like, what are the different... he's done Italian and Asian fusion, Mexican. He's done, like, a ranch house type thing.
Jedediah's into La Cocina.
Right.
Into Soul. Mexican Grill. Into Forcella. I'm trying to remember the name of the Asian part of Forcella that he tried to open. Hashi.
Hashi,
yeah.
Okay. What's Hashi mean?
I don't remember.
Nah, whatever.
It does mean something.
I'm sure it does.
Because he gets real excited about that kind of thing.
Right? I'm like, I know that you have no fucking clue what that means, but like, you have to know because of your dad in some way. Like, if somebody started saying it, you'd be like, oh, that's fucking right. Yeah.
He bounces a lot of ideas off of me whenever he does those things. Like, what should I call it? Or should we have, what should our slogan be? And since he's a big old goofball, he'll be like, should our slogan be like, so fucking good? I'll just be like, I'm just going to stop you right there.
You already know that should be the slogan. Just put that, Dad. Come on. What the fuck? Right on.
So, really great lunch. And then we hung out, open kind of, we went lame this year, so we went for money for presents.
Okay.
Just because I'm going to be finding a place to live and stuff, so I just kind of want to make sure I'm
that's
financially stable, even though that's a lame way to get presents.
So you got $20.
25. Come on, it's Christmas.
Good. Thank God. That's like 3 trips to Taco Bell, easy.
I got a Taco Bell gift card, so extra trips to Taco Bell.
So like 4. Holy shit! This is gonna be a wild year.
So we got some stocking stuffer stuff, candy and gift cards, whatever. And then we watched the Hitman's Bodyguard.
How'd you feel about it?
It wasn't bad.
I had a fun time with it.
I had a fun time with it, but I realized I've been spoiled with the quality of action scenes from John Wick. So now most other gunplay is like, eh.
Well, that's one of the weird things when you find like something good, you're like, oh,
Dark Souls.
Fuck, I need that again, but you can't find it.
Dark Souls.
Yeah, so essentially John Wick is the Dark Souls of action movies. Oh, no. Is that what you were trying to say? Because that's what you just fucking said, Kyle.
Oh no, I've become the problem.
You are the problem. You've always been the problem.
Yeah, it's true. That was nice. And then we drove back around. We got back around 7:00. I was pretty tired. And then I watched Silence with my parents, with my mom and David.
Is that the spooky scary where they running around in the house? And
Silence
like,
is
don't
about
talk to me.
Adam Driver and other guy being Portuguese Christian missionaries going to Japan.
Yeah, so it's essentially that one that I'm thinking of.
Is it?
Yeah, where all the teens break into the house and there's an old man.
That's Don't Move?
Yeah, I don't know. Something like that, yeah. Anyways, no, I do know which one you're talking about, though. Was it good? Okay, all right.
Oh, boy. It was very slow. Every scene was dragged out about 3 times out.
That's hard, because sometimes that works really well, but other times it doesn't. Like, I know that people really like that in Quentin Tarantino's movies. He usually has, like, super long shots that people, like, jerk off over.
Yeah.
Like, in the Hateful Eight, there was the intro, which was, like, 10 minutes of just, like, grave.
Or the part where they're, like, putting the stakes outside, and it's, like, playing really scary music, and it happens for, like, 5 minutes, but nothing happens.
Yeah, so... that kind of shit. Like, some people fucking love it, but I don't like it whenever Quentin Tarantino does it. I'm sure that I wouldn't like whatever you're describing in that 3 times as long as it needs to be. Because one of the fun things, like the reason that I like movies like Hot Fuzz and whatnot so much is that they really have like these quick action shots and they don't focus on shit because they're like, you know how it works. We'll make it fun for you. And I like that. I like the quick pace when it needs to be quick. And there are other times where you can stretch out scenes and you can make it slower and better. And I feel like that could even be tied back into like anime, in that older anime movies
so
and
much
shows,
slower paced,
really slow pace. And it has this weird nostalgic feel. So if you're trying to go for something like that, yeah, like there is a reason for it. There's a purpose. But then like with newer anime, it's a lot quicker paced. You fill in that silence. There are times where you don't need that silence filled. Like, for example, I really like how in the original Japanese Totoro, there's not much talking. There's a lot of just like silence and nature and whatnot, and I think it works amazing. But then in the dub for it, people are talking like all the time. You'll have background characters that are talking to each other, but they're not like actual characters. It's just like voices to fill in some extra space.
I remember hearing you talk about this on an episode of the Instant Ramen podcast.
Oh shit! What's their slogan again?
I think it's eat ass, smoke grass, and sled fast.
Something like that. I would say Instant Ramen podcast, but you know, you were pretty fucking close.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Yes, silence just kind of made me mad. Because it just like it was because I get mad when people are assholes for no reason. And like the whole movie is about one of the missionaries. He gets captured by like the Japanese Inquisition.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're going to start killing all these farm people until you denounce your faith, and it's your fault that they're dying.
Huh.
It's like, I mean, it's your fault that you're dying because you're the one that's killing them. And that's the whole movie. The whole movie.
I'm going to take your word on it.
The whole movie is them just going, "This is your fault, bitch. This is your fault that these farmers are dying because you're a Christian. It's your fault. You're killing them." And he's just like, no.
All right. Well, I'm not going to watch that.
And then in the end, he renounces his faith at the end of the movie.
Oh, good shit,
So
dude.
he doesn't even hold strong.
Fucking good shit.
So it's like, oh, cool. I'm glad I watched that for 2 hours.
That's fucking ridiculous. So for Christmas, I have an anime podcast, and I like watching anime.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got a couple of anime gifts. Pretty exciting.
Body pillow.
No, I already have too many. I don't need another one.
I
asked for none. They're just mostly of me. I just have them like tucked away.
Those.
Yeah.
Right.
Huggy from Love Lab. Got one of those. Wouldn't that be great?
From Love Lab?
Yeah. It's
the poorly drawn pillow.
Yeah, the like really gross ass giant pillow. Yeah. But anyways, Leandra wound up getting me my favorite character from Kill la Kill, Mako, a little like Mako figure that just came out. So I'm really excited about that. It's pretty rad.
Please tell me it's
just regular, but it has guts.
It's not fight organizer Mako.
God, I fucking wish, dude. I would lose my shit if that was the case. But no, it has a little guts that comes with it too, the dog. So I'm pretty fucking stoked on that. And then for my birthday, I don't remember if I had mentioned this last episode, but she got me the Japanese flip flappers, which is pretty exciting.
I did see that, yeah.
Well, I posted that on Instagram and Facebook and whatnot. So I wasn't sure if I had like talked about it, but that was super cool and I'm excited about that. And then she also is doing a giveaway for us, which is super fucking cool. So now,
what is she giving away?
Right now you could get the little pop figures of My Hero. So you could get Deku, All Might.
Are those really big square head things?
And Aracho, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you get Gravity Girl and our boy. Is Deku just Deku? Is that his hero name? Yeah, that's
what his hero name is, Deku.
I'm like, it's not, but it is.
He's taking the name Useless into his own hands.
Yeah, and what's it mean? Like, useful? It's like pretty much it could be useful or it could be useless.
Yeah, it's like useless or something, isn't it? Or like underwhelming, or
yeah. Well, I mean that's essentially what Bakugo was saying. Bakugo was just like, "You're a piece of shit, Deku. Deku's your name because that means piece of shit, essentially." Yeah. But then our boy Uraraka, who is a girl,
but also our boy,
she was like, "Oh, Deku, that means like super cool, right? Because you could think of it that way, and that's also how you could write it because Japanese people have like 10 different ways to write things." Mm-hmm. Anyways, yeah. So you could get those guys in All Might. Cool. Yeah. So yeah, go ahead and check us out on Twitter and everywhere, Facebook and Instagram. All the links are going to be below all that.
MySpace.
Zonga.
Newgrounds.
We're going to be on Nudegrounds. Yeah, for sure. So.
Oh, I did get an anime present.
Oh, what the fuck? Shut up.
So the Christmas Eve.
Oh, you totally did.
I had a gift exchange with all my friends that I hardly ever see, or the other group of friends.
Yeah.
And my buddy Tony got me, without knowing I knew what this is or have seen it, a Banana figure. Did you guys talk about Banana?
Yeah, hell yeah, we did. A little fucking cat that lives inside of a banana, or is a banana, but it's also a cat. Long story short, you got one.
Yeah, long story short, I have a banana with a cat coming out of it, or the banana is the cat, or the cat is the banana. But I love it. It's adorable.
Yeah, it sounds fucking cool.
Pretty excited about that.
Stoked for you, man. Yeah, I got some other cool shit for Christmas, but it's not anime related, so whatever.
Who cares?
What anime have you been watching this past week? Because you're an avid anime fan, right?
I'm an avid anime fan, but I am the worst at watching things.
Dude, I wrote that blog post. You know how I do.
Yeah.
I pretty much just watch stuff for the podcast.
Yeah.
Unless I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm in it, boys. Like Haikyuu, I was like, I'm in that shit. Shit on me, like one of those.
Yeah, recently, my homework of the best show ever made. Mm-hmm. And then recently, you and I just watched all of Overlord in 2 days.
That was a fun time.
I loved Overlord.
Super stoked on the next season coming out next month.
I'm so excited.
Lizardmen, I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah. Especially because it, like in the trailer or whatever, it like humanizes them.
They're like pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, so they're like, oh no, we're all gonna die out of nowhere.
Well, back when I don't even remember. It must have been like 7th grade, maybe younger, whatever. When I found out about Warhammer and I was like checking that out and getting into it, I was like, holy fuck, Lizardmen are the coolest things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I lost my shit. And then go forward in time and I'm playing some Baldur's Gate and I'm like, oh fuck, there are lizardmen in this game, and I lost my shit again. And then go forward to now and I'm like, oh fuck, there are lizardmen in this anime. And my life is just pretty good is what I'm trying to say. I got lizardmen all over.
I'd say it's pretty hard to beat Warhammer Lizardmen because they got laser cannons, T-Rexes with other lizards riding the T-Rexes.
Yeah.
They got it all.
Dude, it's badass.
Yeah, top 3 Warhammer fantasy races, definitely.
But I mean, like one of the things that I do like about Lizardmen is in this anime, they have like huts and they're in a swamp. And I always like that idea. Like the Warhammer, they have lasers and shit. They're like technologically advanced.
Lizard men are always very swampy or rainforesty.
They really are. And that's what I liked about D&D, or not D&D, Baldur's Gate, which is from the D&D universe.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that eventually you come across lizardmen and they're in a swamp and they're like, hey man, I'll help you out. Like, hey, you want to buy this? And it's like a crazy electricity mace. And you're like, yeah, that's fucking cool. So I do like lizardmen having magic elements a lot. I always think that's cool. And I love just like the kind of like weird hut life where they're just, I don't know. It like kind of makes them seem like simpler folk, but they're also really strong and have purpose and whatnot. And I like that. I don't know.
Their like forte is not architecture.
That's for sure. Long story short, Overlord tight.
Yeah, I really loved that. And other than that, no, I haven't really been watching anything recently. I usually, honestly, it's well over 50%, probably like a good 75% of the anime I watch is with you. Yeah. Because me personally, I enjoy anime the most with other people.
Yeah. Well, I enjoy like everything more with other people. Yeah. So, yeah, pretty much. But there's
like things I watched by myself. You watched
Gate.
Gate. I really liked. That was a
hentai, yeah.
I was gonna say a Henry suggestion.
A hentai suggestion, of course.
Suggestion. I watched Is It Wrong to Pick Up a Girl in a Dungeon by myself? Is it wrong to pick up
girls in a dungeon?
Did I say women?
You said a girl. You just said it like 2 seconds ago. What happened? Did you have a stroke?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
This is first stroke on the Instagram.
I'm in my late 20s now. Strokes are gonna start happening. Which was okay. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think. What else did I watch by myself?
That's everything. That's all you've ever watched.
That's probably all.
Yeah,
I started to watch Magic Teacher Guy.
Oh yeah, the Akashic Records,
Akashic Bastard teacher. Yeah, and then halfway through, I'm like, this is boring.
Okay, yeah, kind of a bummer.
He's not
we'll
magic
get more into
punching
you in
people.
Anime in a little bit, but yeah, this last week I finished Rekka 7 AO, and I was upset beyond belief, and I will share that with everybody. Once Juan now has to watch Rekka 7, fucking finally.
It has to be worth it.
It was so worth it to me because I'm like, Juan, why are you not watching this amazing thing that I'm telling you it's amazing and trust me, you'll like it. You know, it's one of those situations. But now that I'm done with Rekka 7 AO, which has been on my backlog for like 4 years or so, I'll be able to just watch other shit. And I want to watch Your Lie in April. I want to watch Brotherhood. I want to watch I don't know, like several other things. They're all on my watch list. I want to get on that shit. I want to get down in it, get down and dirty. So soon I'll do that. I started since we're going to be doing our like summary of all the anime. I've started just picking up
like the best episode of Instagram podcast.
The
preview and the review of the season. Those are my
we're
favorites.
doing the old review coming up soon, and I'm having a good time so far. Like all the things that I've chose to watch, I think they're fine. Some are a little bit slower paced than others, but I'm having a good time, especially just like being able to hang out and mellow out after all this holiday bullshit and work and everything. It's good. So I'm stoked about that, but not a whole lot of anime watching like that I'm able to talk about outside of another episode.
Yeah.
So good shit. We'll get into, more of that.
Is it time to get into the news?
Yeah. So I'm going to tell you a couple of things about a couple of things.
Okay.
You ready for this shit?
Yeah.
All right. News time. So Crunchyroll and Funimation will be releasing a ReZero dub in spring 2018. Now, ReZero was one of your favorite animes of 2016. Isn't that right?
I've never seen it.
It has lizardmen in it, Kyle.
Henry said I would really like it.
You know what? Here's the thing. I watched the first episode. It was like split into 2 parts. I watched the first half of the first episode, and I was like, fuck, I don't like it. Then I watched the second half of the first episode, and I'm like, I get why people would like it. And then I watched the second episode, and I was like, I don't get why people would like it. And then I was done. That's like, I felt like I had enough, and I felt like I understood it enough. And then when you see the fan base just being like, oh man, I just want him to hook up with this person. I just want him to hook up with that person. She's the best girl. No, she's the best girl. And I'm like, dude.
Oh man, I can't wait to talk about that in a few minutes.
Yeah, we'll get into Best Girls soon. But anyways, ReZero was widely popular, and I kind of wish that I did like it because the concept of it's really cool in that he dies and has to go fix shit over and over and over, and he just keeps dying and has to keep fixing it. I just didn't like
Tom Cruise.
Essentially, he's Tom Cruise and never die after tomorrow.
Live, die. All you need is death.
Yeah, all you need is kill. The movie
Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow
Tom Cruise.
With Tom Cruise.
That's the one. But yeah, I thought the whole premise was like pretty interesting that he's in this fantasy world trying to take care of that, and they had some really cool elements to it. But there were a lot of parts that I wasn't super interested in, and unfortunately, that's why I decided to not watch it. The jokes weren't landing for me. I liked the serious part a lot. I wish it was more serious than they were treating it.
Oh yeah.
And that was kind of what was taking me out so much.
But it's getting, did you say it's getting a dub or a redub?
It's getting a dub.
Okay.
Yeah, which is very exciting considering like there are a lot of dubs that come out a little bit after the fact. This is like a bit later, but this is super exciting. For anybody that has ever enjoyed anime, this is an easier way to do it.
Maybe even people who've never enjoyed anime.
Nope, they don't deserve it.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
For whatever, fuck it. Next up, Nanan Biyori announces a film adaptation of Nanan Biyori Vacation. And now you were telling me earlier that this is one of your favorite animes, and you've been hoping that they would make an adaptation of this specific Nanan Biyori Vacation.
Yeah, I particularly love how they modeled the sun.
That's wonderful. And can you just give us a brief synopsis of what this show's about?
There's this guy.
Okay, I'm with you.
And he opens a coffee shop and gets a dog. That's totally not a different anime. This is the right one, I assure you.
Yeah.
And that's all I know about it.
Why is that the first one that you think of?
Because I saw Vacation and a guy moving to Hawaii to open a coffee shop with a Shiba reminds me of that. I don't know what this show is.
I don't really know either. It's just a bunch of girls. That's pretty much it. It's a slice of life style.
Better.
And I figured it'll be a fun ass little slice of life, happy party time. So for the people that love Nanan Biyori, please tell me what the fuck it is, because
there's probably a guy in it though somewhere.
Well, I mean, okay. So the thing is, like,
I wasn't that wrong.
No, you weren't. There are some anime and they have like no dudes. It's fucking crazy. And if you go, like, there's a dude who broke down all of the different men, or I guess males, in K-On! And they were
I know that one.
Yeah, you do. That's good. I think in the first episode, there was like one in the background. You see like the back of his head. And then in the second episode, there was like another one, the same situation. And there was none in the third. There was like 5 in the fourth. And they were all in the background. So like, there's probably a dude in Nanan Biyori. But like, there's also a chance that who fucking knows, dog.
You're right.
Next up, super exciting. Zokuowarimonogatari is coming out in 2018.
I don't remember what that one is.
It's fine. All you need to pay attention to is the end of it. So Zokuowarimonogatari.
Yeah, I've heard the last part a billion times.
Okay. So the Monogatari series.
Is that the one that's turned into a game?
I don't know if they did that. Are you thinking of Danganronpa Rappa?
Yes.
Or whatever? Good. The Monogatari shows, they've made like some movies and whatnot. Essentially what it is there's a dude, I think his name is like Aragi or something. That sounds kind of right. He starts encountering these different like weird spirit things and like has interactions with like vampires and just weird shit's going on.
This isn't the toothbrush fuck one, is it?
This is the toothbrush fuck one.
Okay.
Yeah. Long story short, it wound up being a harem, and I was like, you know what? That's not really my thing. But stylistically, they made such amazing choices. Like some
super
really
popular,
good
right?
angle. Yeah, because it looks amazing. Shaft does an amazing job with this show. It looks amazing. It sounds amazing. Like every part of it is amazing. But I hate the overarching like harem part of it, and they have like a lot of just like too sexual shots for no reason, in my opinion. I'm not too intrigued with that, so yeah, not for me. Super exciting though, because people fucking lose their shit over this. So Zokuowarimonogatari, nailed it. Fucking coming out 2018.
Oh boy. Sign me up.
Cool shit. So next up, Violet Evergarden. It may be airing weekly on Netflix. And that's fucking crazy. The reason that they're saying that is because they're saying it's going to be simulcast on Netflix. Netflix said simulcast. Simul-fucking-cast.
Now, remind me, Violet Evergarden is the one where Gary, his name's Gary,
Yes.
Develops an obsession with paragliding.
Yes.
That one?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
Or it's about like this robot girl who's living in like a fantasy type land thing. And it's being made by Kyoto Animation. So
gotcha.
I'm very excited about this.
It's going to be good.
It looks fucking stunning. There was like a preview or something at Anime Expo that we missed because it was so fucking busy and there was no possible way we could make it in. So we kind of like cut our losses.
So it's anime My Life as a Teenage Robot?
Possibly. It looks pretty rad. I'll show you the trailer. It's
cool.
it's like England or like, you know, that kind of like style of architecture and whatnot. You know, little cottages and cobblestone roads.
Is it Victorian looking or is it a little bit older?
We'll find out, won't we? I can't remember.
Okay.
So fuck it. I'm excited about that though. And then this is super cool. So I don't know if you remember Hosoda. We did an episode on him and all of his different movies. The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. The
Name another
Summer
one.
Wars. Wolf Children. The Boy and the Beast. You remember?
I kind of remember that episode. The only one I've seen is The Girl Leapt Through Time. I've seen it twice with you, and it's very good, and I like it.
Fucking love it.
And it makes me sad, but also happy, but also sad.
True that, and he's a fucking genius. Anyways, all of his movies are going to be available for streaming on Funimation. So if you have a Funimation account, you could go and watch any of his movies for free, which is fucking cool because I love all those movies.
Yeah.
Especially Wolf Children. Oh man, that movie just made me lose it. I'm like, I'm never gonna be a mom, and I'm so sad about that. So
screw you, Leander. It's great. I haven't seen it, but it's great.
Yeah, I think she was just in the wrong like headspace. Like a few months down the line, she's gonna be thinking about, you know, marriage and children and shit, and I'm gonna be like, okay, we're gonna watch this, and you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I need like 10 kids right now,
and then she'll be like, why isn't this a wolf?
Yeah, she's gonna be fucking pissed when she finds out that babies aren't always wolves.
I would.
So anime staff for A Sisters All You Need wants to make more. Did you know that, Kyle? That's our last piece of news. Did you know that, Kyle?
Oh, boy. I'm really actually just thrilled 100% for that.
I am thrilled for you, Kyle. A Sister's All You Need is going to be today's discussion in Kyle's Flaming Hot Pile of Garbage special. So why don't we get into who you are, Kyle? Who the fuck are you?
I am Juan and Chris's friend first, Dungeon Master second. I have the exact same birthday as Chris, as most of you have probably heard at this point.
Yeah, I think.
And that's the only reason we're friends.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I don't know. I think you told me to watch anime, but the first one I watched was with Cash. I watched Gurren Lagann with him.
I was like, is it Gurren Lagann?
It
Really?
went Gurren Lagann first, then Eureka 7 with you, and then that's kind of what kicked it off. But to that...
Some strong starts, and both with robots. How weird.
I mean, me. I like robots.
Yeah.
Sometimes. But as I think most of the people that have been guests on this podcast, it's... You know, I've seen it before on like Toonami cartoons. I'd seen episodes of Samurai Champloo with Alex Johnson.
Oh, yeah. Getting that tasty J.
I had seen some Full Metal Alchemist. So I had seen it before and I knew what it was, but I hadn't obviously immersed myself in anything other than Avatar: The Last Airbender or Pokemon, which I didn't really like as I've never liked as a TV show.
No,
You guys have talked about it to death, and I understand that.
When I was a kid, I fucking loved seeing the Pokemon do things because in the game, you couldn't really see them do much. So in the show, that's why they were so hype. But the Pokemon cards put them in the environment more than the show did. So I was stoked about that more than the show. But the game was more fun. The show is just like the weakest link out of all of them, in my opinion. But I don't know if you saw this or not, but so in the latest game, Pokemon Sun and Moon, not necessarily Ultra, but we know that the professor is married to one of the gym leaders.
Yes.
And recently in Pokemon, they did this whole thing. They've done things different for the Sun and Moon show. So they haven't been married during the show. And people were like, yo, what the fuck? They're not married?
Are they going to get married?
Yeah, so we proposed. And she was like, I don't know, something about like, we got to like get each other or something. And he's like, well, then I guess I have to choose you, and pulls out a Pokeball with a ring in it. And it was like pretty fucking adorable,
awesome.
dude. It was so great. So yeah, that's why they didn't do that. And I thought that was awesome and beautiful, and good job, Pokemon, for doing some new shit this season.
Yeah, as for animes that I like, I don't know, I like a lot of the ones that people talk about a lot. You know, most of the things you like that usually involve some kind of major conflict I like. I'm not a big slice of life kind of guy.
No, and that's totally understandable.
Except for Life of High School Boys is awesome.
It's fucking great. Did you ever watch Senyu? I don't remember if I made you watch that.
Yeah, Senyu was good. Senyu was good.
And parts of Nichijou.
Which one was Nichijou?
It's mostly the girls, and it's kind of like this.
Is that the deer fight one?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Parts of that. It's fucking great. Still my favorite episode. It like, I felt like I was watching the wrong show. It starts out, and it's all these people on this like Zeppelin flying through the sky, and they're like a big old like, I guess military force, but the king is on the air balloon thing, and they're all having this weird discussion. There's an uprising. They're going to take down the king. They're going to get his magical like cubes or whatever. And then after a fucking long, it's like 5 or 6 minutes. Then finally, like the person drops the cubes off of the airship, and they just go plummeting down, and they plop into like one of the main characters' hair, and they're like pigtails. And the girl behind her is like, oh. And that was like it. She was daydreaming about how those came into existence. And I'm like, what the? That was like 6 minutes, and it didn't say it was the show at all. And I felt like I was watching the wrong thing, but it also felt kind of right. But all of it was so different. Anyways, those are the kind of slice of life that I'm down with more than anything.
Yeah. These days, recently, I'm more into animes that can give me inspiration for Pathfinder.
Okay, yeah.
All hours of the day, all the time, I'm thinking about that specifically because it's very hard to run a multiple year spanning story and trying to have as little to no loopholes or
I bet
or loose ends to the story. So you know, Gate, Log Horizon, Sword Art, Overlord, all these fantasy things kind of help me just churn through ideas.
Dude, and we got to bust out Ancient Magus this next week before we do the review.
Ooh, yeah, I really
That'll inspire you.
I really want to watch more of that.
Yeah, I've been holding off on that, but I've been watching Black Clover Without You, which I felt like might also give you inspiration for different things.
Yeah.
And honestly, watching it so far, you're good. Like,
Is it Naruto with magic?
It's
magic
like a really
Naruto?
Typical kind of like shonen thing where you're like, oh man, like, oh, they got to go do this thing. And instead of like taking forever though, like Dragon Ball, Naruto, stuff like that, they go like right to what they're trying to do. And then, I don't know, it sets it up. And they're just like, oh, this character, like, he's really cool, but only one guy knows it, and that's his rival. And then he goes, and they're, like, doing this whole, like, it's like a trial thing, like, to be chosen into a special, like, training thing with all the different, like, wizard people. And so they get there, and then his rival goes up, and he's like, this is my name, and this is my grimoire. And they're like, holy shit, you're that guy? Whoa, you're fucking crazy. How did you get that? All right, bye. And then behind him, he's like, I'm from the same village. This is my name. god, because all he does is fucking scream.
Yeah, with that weird grate to his voice.
Yeah. And then he pulls out his grimoire and they're like, the fuck is this filthy piece of shit? Is this actually a grimoire? And he's like, hell yeah, it is. And I'm like, all right, whatever, loser. And it's just like, that's the typical thing. Everyone's just like, no, he's a piece of shit. And they're going around and it shows off other characters and they're kind of talking that we've never seen before. And there are all these birds that are like hanging out with people and like pecking on them and kind of bothering them. And like, the fuck's up with these birds? And I'm like, oh, well, if you're not that great at magic, they come and bother you. So the worse you are, the more birds you'll have on you. And so that sets it up to either be like, all right, this piece of shit's going to be covered in birds or he's going to have no birds. And that's the first thing that I think of. And then it shows his friend and he's got no birds. And I'm like, all right, rad.
Oh, yeah, of
so let's see the piece of shit. And he's fucking coated in birds. So they just like try to constantly make it like, he sucks, he sucks, he sucks, he sucks. And they really fucking drill it into you. And they did all these things. They're like, oh, can you like fly on a broom? Can you go and do this? And like, let's see this kind of magic. And then you just can't do anything. They're like, all right, now we're going to have the versus competition. And this guy who's like, he just wants like an easy fight, but also has been like talking with this character the whole time. He's like, hey, you want to like team up or whatever? Like, don't worry if you're not that great. I'll, make sure it's fine. He's like, no, don't fuck you. I got this. And they start like their fight or whatever, and he pulls up this giant bubble and starts shooting out it has I don't think he actually started shooting, but it has the ability to start shooting things out, and it protects him. So he's like, oh man, it's so versatile. It's offensive and defensive. And then our main character Asta is just like, all right, as soon as we go, we're fucking good. And he has like crazy strong legs that make him like rocket jump, but with like some extra like air barrier thing, like sound barrier, air rings or whatever pop out, and he just charges and smashes through the magic because he has like a magic nullification sword.
Yeah, he's like an anti-mage.
Yeah, pretty much. And he super bashes this nerd to the ground. So essentially it's just like, make fun of him a whole bunch. Oh shit, he's cool. Make fun of him a whole bunch. Oh shit, he's cool. But you could also predict what's going to happen. You're like, okay, well, they're shitting on him a whole bunch, so this next fight, he's going to do really well. And then that's going to make it so somebody has to choose him to go into their house. And it's probably going to be the guy before that was like, I'll fucking kill you if you get in my way again. And then nobody wanted to choose him. They're like, oh, you're bad at magic. But as things went on, he was just like, I'm more and more curious about this crazy fucking strong kid. And he's like a crazy fucking strong, crazy mage boy. He's fucking crazy, Kyle. He's crazy.
Yeah, the mentor of the mentor of the shonen character is always like funny old guy or something.
Yeah, no, this is like cigarette smoking biker kind of guy.
Does he have a leather jacket?
No, but he has like a tattered cloth on his shoulder, and he's just like wearing like just a very small shirt, pretty much. Like it's tight fit, so you can see all of his fucking ripped muscles, pretty much. Yeah, I don't know, like a huge biker guy. Imagine that, but like not fat, like ripped.
Yeah.
Anyways, you're like, it's gonna be that guy that chooses him. It's gotta be. And then at the end, he's like, all right, well, nobody's chosen any of them, so fuck off, kid. And he's like, no, like, I don't accept that. And he's like, all right, well, you're a little piece of shit. Let me come down there. And he like starts using magic, and I was like, oh no, oh fuck, can't handle this shit. And then next second, he's just like, all right, so what do you fucking want to do? He's like, I'm going to be the super magic boy, and I'm going to be the wizard king, and there's nothing you guys can do about it. He's like, ha, I fucking like your attitude. If you want to, you could join us. And then he was like, oh shit, like really? He's like, yeah, it's not an option. I'm going to make your life living hell. You have to come with us. And that's the story now. So he's going to be punished, and there's like nothing for you to drive off of for Pathfinder.
Cool. Good to know.
The end.
All right, that was a good podcast, you guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye. Hey, so you're talking more about anime, yeah? You like anime?
While you were talking, it helped me think about more things that I liked to kind of give the people a better perspective of the things I like and don't like.
Hell yeah.
One Punch Man, fuck yeah. Mob Psycho 100, fuck yeah. My Hero Academia, awesome. I don't like Kill la Kill very much. I didn't finish it,
fine.
But I gave it like 12 episodes.
And that's the point where it shifts too. Yeah. That's the fucking hard thing with those. Like, I do think that you would enjoy it after that point where it does shift, because we get a different character dynamic. Because essentially, like, the bad guys team up with the good guys and they're going against a new bad guy.
Yeah.
And that makes way more sense later on. I'm like, I don't really understand her drive that much, and I don't get this. And then later on, you're like, okay, I kind of understand everything, and it's more fun because of that. And they're all friends, and some of the cool guys become even cooler guys. Yeah.
That's good. Anohana. I love that show.
Good shit.
Yeah, it's very easy to put me in the hole of you like action animes, where it's like, you know.
But then you like throw in Anohana and you're like, oh man.
Silent Voice. Oh boy.
Yeah, that was good shit.
Whew.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
Made me cry.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty diverse.
Mm-hmm.
Although I tend to, if left to my own devices, I kind of usually end up watching the same kinds of things.
Yeah, I mean that's because there are safe things.
Yeah,
and it's so easy because that's one of the things I've done is I'm like, all right, somebody recommends some new anime, and they're like, check out Angel Beats, and I'm like, thank you, and then I check it out, and I'm like, okay, tight. But then if I go off and explore on my own, I'm like, shows like Angel Beats, like I already know something that I like, so I'll go into another genre.
Yeah. I don't like Mushishi.
Yeah.
In general, I don't like old animation or old animes.
So how do you feel about new Mushishi?
I haven't seen it.
It's pretty much the same, but yeah.
Like, obviously this paints me as an evil person, but I don't really care that much for Trigun or Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah. No, that's totally understandable.
Just because I just kind of have I'm not into it. I'm not into the old style.
No, I feel you 100%. Like, if they remade Trigun, it would definitely be my favorite show of all time, like, without a doubt. But because it's so old now and it feels outdated, it's difficult. When people ask what my favorite show is, I'm like, well, this is the most influential show I've watched. But my favorite's still probably Eureka 7. Yeah.
I can't stand any of the non-stop animes.
Oh, you mean like 700 episode long animes?
I did not enjoy One Piece. I did not enjoy Bleach.
Yeah.
I did not. I don't want to watch Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah.
I have seen the first 100 episodes of Naruto, and I will never watch any more of it ever.
100 episodes.
Yeah, it was. I think I was in high school or maybe junior high, and during summertime there was a summertime first 100 episodes of Naruto on Cartoon Network marathon.
Yeah, yeah.
And I watched it, and I was like, sometimes I was like, oh man, this is really cool, but I'm like, why is there 5 episodes where the guy's talking about how his dad hates him while he's in the middle of fighting somebody? Why aren't they fighting each other?
People fucking eat that shit up. Like, I understand where they're coming from too, but on the other hand, I'm like, I don't fucking care about this. Like, why they focus so much on such a small little thing for so long? It's like, I get the idea and I understand that it might take a long time in like real life, but instead we could just like fast forward. We don't need to keep talking about how the dad sucks, or you could have shown it like over different periods instead of all jammed it together.
Yeah.
You could have broken up the pacing a little bit, but instead you just like drug it out, man.
Future Diaries was great.
Future Diaries was fun. Yeah.
I actually watched a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX.
Okay. I don't know which one. Whatever. Fuck it.
Yeah, I don't know which one it was. But then again, that also stems from the fact that I think during all of high school and maybe the first year of college, I had the TV on all the time.
Uh-huh.
All the time, and I was never watching it because my first and foremost, the thing I do the most is play video games.
True that.
And I just wanted noise, so something was on while I was playing video games. Disney Channel, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, who gives a shit?
And then it changed to like Food Network and the Game Show Network, and your life changed forever.
Game Show Network was the best.
Oh, man, you were like, what's in that box, Jerry Springer?
Be like, oh,
does he
man,
have 3 belly buttons?
Let's make a deal. Pick door number 1. Door number 1.
Good shit. Anyways.
So, yeah, those are the animes I liked. Some I don't like. How many episodes of Angel Beats are there? 12?
Yeah.
I watched 7 episodes?
Yeah.
And I wasn't really into it, which
it kind of surprised me a little bit. But then on the other hand, I'm like, I get it. I get it.
I liked the episode where the girl plays her song on stage.
That one's a great episode. And that's essentially what, like, the whole rest of the show is. There's that, and they're like, oh shit. And then like 4 episodes later, they're like, and now we're gonna get rid of this person. And then like the rest of the show is just you learning about each character, except for TK, who's just like, yeah, all right. And then he like leaves, and you're like, what the fuck? What were you?
What else did I not like?
I don't remember shit.
What's the
all,
Umaru chant? I hate Umaru chant.
Totally fair.
I hate it. Mm-hmm. And the reason I don't like that is going to be why I don't like this show we're going to be talking about. One of the reasons.
Yes, I totally know where we're coming from.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a pretty good rundown of your whole like anime life. And you've watched like a surprising amount of anime.
Yeah.
Considering like you don't watch it.
I also really like Oban Star Racers, and nobody else likes it or will watch it with me, and everybody else hates it except for me, even though I think it's cool.
Dude, whatever you say. France is doing their thing and you're doing yours. I guess. I don't know.
Shows the tits.
Speaking of the tits, we're gonna talk about a little show called A Sister Is All You Need, made by Silverlink. And they've done some shows like Kokoro Connect, super popular show, probably their most popular. Tanaka-kun is always Listless, which is Juan and Sierra watched it and they had a fucking great ass time with it. Just a super mellow, chill slice of life type thing. And then also Brave Witches, which is the sequel to Strike Witches, the anime about girls who have to kiss and then they turn into like, I don't know, some kind of like jets and fight each other.
My personal favorite.
Kyle's favorite. So because of that, because he loves Strike Witches so much, he was like, oh shit, there's a new show made by the Strike Witches people. It's not made by the Strike Witches people, actually. Strike Witches was made by Gonzo, and Brave Witches is made by Silverlink. But fuck it. Long story short, Kyle is going to review A Sister Is All You Need, because a while ago we had decided that since Kyle's favorite episodes are the summary episodes, whether it's a preview or a wrap-up, whatever it is, he's always like, how bad can these shows be? Because Kyle's watched a few with me whenever I have to go through and do the first episodes. But because he decided that this is what he's going to be doing every season now, unless you change that, it doesn't fucking matter to me. He kind of has to be around to watch all the different anime. So he watched almost everything that there is. At least the first episode, he watched almost everything that there is this season. And we had to choose the worst one, in our opinion, for Kyle to watch. So not necessarily the worst ever, just the one that Kyle's going to have the worst time with. So we did it, boys. A Sister Is All You Need. Tell us everything. Don't leave out any juicy deets.
Everybody, welcome to Instant Ramen Podcast's trash hole garbage pile anime review with Kyle.
Perfect. First off, should I get on the floor for this?
Please.
Okay, so there's going to be some ass eating.
We're about to eat some ass.
All right.
So starting the show off, we watched the first episode, and when we declared that this would be the show I'd be watching, I was worried that I was in for just the worst experience of my life.
Yeah.
Pleasantly surprised, it ended up being the worst experience of my life.
Perfect. We did it, boys.
This is a show about a 20-year-old novelist named Itsuki.
Yeah. All right.
He just wants to be a novelist more than anything else. That's all he wants to be.
Well, is he a manga artist or is he a writer? I can't remember.
He's just a writer. Just a writer, and he writes dirty novels that almost exclusively deal with romancing your little sister.
Okay, you had me sold.
He has an obsession with little sisters. Mm-hmm. So,
is there a name for that? Like, I feel like they would say it in the show if there is a name for that.
They didn't.
Okay, I don't know if there is or not.
I mean, I know they use the word umoto.
Yeah, I think that is the name of the show. So that's like sister.
So. Something. I mean, I'll start with the things that I liked because it's a very small list.
Okay, let's do it.
The music is very pleasant.
Yeah,
it's always very pleasant.
Good shit.
It's relaxing and it's calming.
Yeah.
The music fits. Animation's not bad. It's good. It's decent animation. There's a lot of little details I don't need to put in. For example, like he's laying on the bed. If he doesn't just sit up, he like bends his knees, pushes his foot down. Like they add all of these bodily motions to people that aren't necessary.
That's pretty handy.
The voice acting's not bad.
Okay.
The characters' voices, for the most part, seem to fit the character and what they look like.
That's good. You know, I find that like way easier whenever I'm watching it in Japanese too. Like almost all the time I'm like, yeah, I totally believe that. Yeah.
I think if I had watched a dub of the show, I would have actually killed myself.
All right.
It would have been that.
I'm like, if I need Kyle to die.
Yeah, now you know.
Just
now
put
you know.
That on the
if
list.
Anybody listening wants me to kill myself, send me the dub of this show. The show attempts to be emotionally connecting.
Yeah.
It attempts to.
People were emotionally connected without a doubt. People were stoked.
I read the comments on every episode, and people are like, this character development's amazing, and I really feel for this person and that person.
Meanwhile, you're just like, I don't know, I jacked off. It was okay, I guess.
Let's get into the bad.
All right.
We got a big old list of things that I have to remember.
All right.
This show tries to be a comedy.
It is a comedy.
It is not funny.
It's hilarious.
Nothing is fun.
You laughed. Whore.
I watched 12 episodes of this show.
Yes.
I forcefully exhaled twice. But out of my nose, not even out of my mouth.
Oh,
just
I
like,
can't make
just
that.
like, I don't even know if anyone heard that. That was it. It's just
Okay.
It's just penis joke after penis joke after penis, and they're not clever.
Well, here's the thing. I love a good penis joke. All I do is make penis jokes. I talk about masturbation, ass eating penises,
but with good timing and or a thought behind. There's no thought behind these jokes.
I mean, depending on certain things, like some jokes land because of the situation that me and our friends happen to be in, such as I'm gonna fuck your kids. If I say that out of context, doesn't sound too great.
Exactly.
If I say it in context, still doesn't fucking sound great. But
No.
you guys eat that shit up. You're like, yeah, Chris, tell us.
It's because it's also because we're friends. I'm not friends with any of these characters.
Well, okay, sure.
It just the jokes just never land.
They don't stop coming.
Ever.
They don't stop coming.
And that mixes with another thing, the red stamp.
Yeah, so this was a neat thing that we noticed the first episode. We were like, the fuck was that?
So after punchlines, not all of them, there's a red stamp that punches into the center of the screen that I believe in Japanese characters says little sister, which also it translates it for you as well. It says little sister. And it just makes this like, boop, makes that noise every time it goes on the screen. I'd say it probably happens at least 30 times in a 12-episode show. And it's not even punchlines. Sometimes it's punchlines. Sometimes it's after a simple statement. I think in episode 12, he goes, I think we need to go and talk to this character. And this goes, boop. It's like a scene transition.
Yeah, I wish that I thought about this beforehand, but I wish that I got you a sister stamp.
I would have thrown it out any open door window that I could have found.
Just like take all the Pathfinder books and stuff and just stamp it.
It's extremely grating.
Yeah.
It's horrible. It's just like
great.
And mixed in with the dialogue that I'll get into when I get into the characters, like one of the characters will be like, "Oh man, now it's just us. Now we can totally fuck." Boom, and just stamp. It's like, was it a joke?
Are they fucking? Is it a joke?
Yeah,
I don't understand.
Why are you just stamping the screen? Why? I think it happens more than 30 times.
Damn, Kyle.
I wish there was. I tried to look it up, but no one has counted.
No one has counted.
It was horrible. It just kept happening over and over and over. Just bad punchlines, scene transitions, just boop.
No
boop,
good.
Boop. It's like I get it. Beer. This show This show really likes beer a lot. In every single episode except for one, they have like when Gurren Lagann would go to commercial, does like the row, fight the power. It has the commercial transition. In this show, the commercial transition is a anime. It's not a real life picture. It's a drawn picture of a kind of beer, and then just 2 paragraphs or 1 paragraph of it. It's like, this is a Belgian white that's exceptionally fruitful and has a hoppy aftertaste. It's like, there's like beer commercials in the show.
That's...
And then one episode,
okay,
one
neat.
episode, it was root beer. It was A&W root beer.
They got us. They got us the old bait and switch, which is, I guess, the theme of the show, right?
Sure.
All right.
Now, this alone was enough to bother me a little bit.
The beer thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's just like
I don't understand it. Why is it here?
It's like if someone were to non-ironically in a normal Western TV show be like, but I like to enjoy a cold glass of Pepsi with my dinner, and like turn the can a little bit as they drink it so you can read it.
Yeah, but
not like a joke. It's serious.
Exactly. But that would be fucking hilarious. In any show that I'm watching, if that happened, I would be like, you fucking
if Hannibal Buress did an advertisement for Pepsi, I would lose it.
Hell yeah, dude.
None of these characters are Hannibal Buress.
No! I went into the show thinking I was going to get just nonstop Hannibal Buress action. And you're telling me that I'm not getting that?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Now, food plays a huge part in this show. And everybody knows anime food looks great.
I don't know that. Tell me why.
In this show, anime food looks great.
Great.
They have beer with all their meals. And it's usually the one that they've advertised in the commercial break. Now, every single time a character drinks beer, they're really fucking stoked about it. I don't know if they do this in other animes because I haven't paid attention to it.
Where they just like chug a lug and then afterwards they like slam it down like, Gah!
That's exactly what they do. Once every episode is like, it's so good.
Yeah,
and you're just like, okay, probably not. It's probably not that good.
You ever drank a beer and just been like, oh shit, I have ascended to another astral plane.
So yeah, the stamp thing mixed with the beer thing just throws me off. It's like it's not even a TV show at that point.
Right, yeah, it just feels like it's
So the characters, this is going to be the meatiest part. So the main character, he's 20 years old. I hate his hair.
Okay.
His hair, he has like a super cowlick going down one side of his face, over his nose, and under the opposite eye. And then he has another cowlick coming down the opposite side of his face, going over his nose and down under the other opposite eye. So he has like an X on his face of brown hair.
Cool.
He is just a huge asshole.
Yeah.
To everybody.
You know, first episode I got that impression.
Except for his brother.
Who
we'll get to that.
We will get to later.
So he's like the anime version of a neckbeard.
Nice.
He's mean. The only thing he cares about is little sisters, to the point where it's like, this isn't a real human being.
Yeah.
Nobody has a one-track mind like this.
Well, except for like me and Taco Bell. Talked about Taco Bell like 6 times this episode. You probably just didn't notice because that's like who I am.
Yeah, I did. It was I like it too, so.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Filter it out.
He's just awful. And there's this phenomenon that I hate most of the time that I just call garbage main characters. For example, Big Bang Theory.
Love it.
Sheldon is a trash hole human being.
I mean, I guess, but have you seen Young Sheldon?
He's mean to everybody.
Yeah, but did you see Young Sheldon?
And shut your mouth.
Because it all makes so much sense. Once you see Young Sheldon, it'll change your life.
I'll watch Everybody Hates Chris, because that's a way better show about a young person.
Oh my God, that's so true.
Anyway, he's just an asshole. And every time a good thing happens in The Big Bang Theory, he ruins it. By saying something stupid. Now, I don't watch shows that have characters like that, except for Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Well, that's a different beast.
I hate things when all the main characters are just garbage. Like most sitcoms, the main characters are just like assholes.
Yeah, they're all just self-centered.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia is just really clever, though, and it's well written, and it's funny. It's actually funny, so I can tolerate it. But everything else where people are just jerks, I can't do it.
Yeah.
And this guy's just a jerk.
Yeah.
He's mean to all of his friends. He's really selfish. And you don't know why until the last episode, which they should have put in the first episode.
One of those where they're like, oh, you're going to love this character, but it's going to take you forever.
So his mom died.
Classic.
So his mom died.
Been there, done that.
When he's
Killed
in
tons
junior
of moms.
high, and so he felt very alienated from all his friends because his mom died and he was a weirdo. So he sat by himself at school all the time and just read books. That's all he did.
Okay,
and
I'd follow you.
And his favorite, this is all like verbatim in the last episode where he's talking about his life. So he's just all he does is read books, and he realized that he really liked reading about all the beautiful girls in the books. So he started on waifus pretty early.
Yeah.
And more specifically, he really liked the little sister characters, and he always wondered why the main character never romanced the little sister.
I mean, I could tell you in like one sentence why.
I'd like to hear your opinion, Chris.
Shit's fucked, yo.
Yeah, that's how a normal human being would think. You would read a book and you'd be like, man, why isn't he romancing this younger sister? And then you'd think, wait a minute, because that's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So his family had a housekeeper.
Nice.
The housekeeper had a daughter.
Okay.
One day, the daughter comes over. She's older than the main character.
Okay.
And she was like, hey, I heard you're having a hard time, and I wanted to come hang out with you.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? So she hangs out with him, and she looks at his...
massive dong.
He has a bookshelf.
Same thing.
We'll get into massive dongs.
Yeah, I know we will.
There's a thing.
I'm ready for it.
So she looks at his bookshelf that probably has, as according to the drawing of the anime, over like 75 novels.
Damn,
all lined up.
Kid knows how to read.
And she's like, oh man, you love to read, don't you? And he's like, oh yeah, I guess I do, whatever. And
nice.
she's like, oh man, some of these are pretty dirty. And he's like, oh, don't look at those. She's like, no, it's cool, I'm into them. Can I borrow some of these? She's like taking a legitimate interest in his life and being super nice with no personal gain whatsoever.
Dude, I'm down, yeah.
And so then he goes on to explain that she was like an older sister to him, and she's super cool. Like, she would read books with him, talk about the books, and she would cosplay for him.
Dude,
where it starts getting kind of weird.
No, I'm cool with that. Like,
she's like dressed up as a maid.
Well, see, okay,
and like a Sailor Moon character. But it looks like but it just looked like she was having a good time. It wasn't, nothing about it was sexy.
Right.
And then he's like,
right.
So then he's like, as any junior high boy would be, I fell in love with her. I was like, okay, reasonable.
Sure.
Because she seems really great so far.
All right.
One day, she's at his house and she's crying a little bit. He's like, what's wrong?
Heck.
And she's like, a boy at school turned me down. I like him a lot. He's kind of a nerd and he likes to read a lot and he doesn't follow the crowd and he's very like smart and stuff or whatever. But I guess he doesn't like me and I have trouble getting over it. Main character goes, he's still in junior high at this point. You're like, oh man, I can start to see where this character's coming from a little bit. And then nope, the show just takes it away from you. He's like, I like you. You should like me. I probably read way more books than that guy ever did. And she's like, you're like my little brother. So no, I just like you're like my little brother. That's it. And he's like, get out of my house. I never want to see you again. And you're like, what? What?
Oh, we've all been there.
And then she's like, okay, that makes me really sad. He's like, who needs big sisters? I just like little sisters. And she literally says, you don't have one, and like leaves. And that's the background we get on why this character is the way he is. He's just an asshole.
I'm like really frustrated right now. Okay, so we know main character. Let's talk about other characters.
Next most important character is Nayu. They just call her Nayu.
Nayu.
She's an 18-year-old girl. She has gray hair.
Sure does.
Because anime.
Hell yeah.
And she has like a bow.
Yeah.
But like, sort of. Like her hair like bows out in a bow shape. around where her ears are.
Okay.
Which they use as wiggling cat ears sometimes, despite it just being hair.
All right, mostly I'm down.
I believe she says "nya" 3 times during the show.
Getting less down, but like I'm cool. Yeah, whatever.
She is
down to party.
Designed to be a dumb teenage boy's dream.
Nice.
She is kind of short. She's got big old bobbers.
You had me at big old bobbers.
And about 85% of her dialogue is something sexual. She
Excellent.
is a huge pervert.
Yes.
And is just like wildly in love with the main character. We get some really choice lines. Unfortunately, I didn't write them down, but I can paraphrase.
You little bitch. All right,
where
give me.
she's just like, they're like playing a board game and he does something really cool and she's like, "Senpai, you're so great. Now violate my dirty spot."
Ooh.
Like the dialogue just hurts. It's so cringy.
Just put it in me. No biggie.
And she's like, "I want to drink a lot of beer so I'll get drunk and you could take advantage of me," kind of shit. And she says all this while they're with like their other 5 friends. And they'll just look at her like, oh, that's just her being herself.
I mean, that's what you guys do with me.
No.
Yeah. Anytime I'm like, take me. Put me on the floor. Take me.
But you're not being serious. That's the thing. Shut up.
I mean, I know you're not queerious.
I know you're not being serious. She's just like legitimately just like going for it every episode.
Yeah.
She also is a novelist, and she's way better at it than the main character.
Yeah, from what I understand from the first episode, she's like fucking emotional as shit.
Apparently,
in her
she's
writing.
like fucking phenomenal at it.
Because depression and shit, and like people relate.
Yeah. But really important fact, she can only write while she's naked.
I'm down. All right, cool. I'm down with
so
that.
So you see her naked like 8 times, of course, with proper hair placement and laptop placement.
Nice.
There's no need for censorship. She's just really annoying. She's like super energetic and just like they go to the zoo in one episode, and the only reason she wanted to go to the zoo was to take a picture of all the animal dicks.
Oh.
I'm not kidding.
Neat.
And then she's just so obsessed with the main character. And every episode he's like, "Will you get off of me? Will you go away and stop making these sex jokes?" And she's like, "I'll stop making these sex jokes if you fuck my ass." Just like shit like that. And you're like, stop.
Yeah, I would say that.
So that's her. She's depressed because she was bullied in high school and she dropped out of high school. And so she doesn't have any friends except for these new friends.
And then they're all like accepting of her fucking bizarre interactions. So.
Yeah, everyone is totally fine with like, just like, "I want you to fuck me right here in front of your friends." And they're all just like,
I like to imagine her voice is actually like, "Take me right now, senpai."
It's the opposite. She is the highest pitched voice in the show. There you go, just like that. Just like Tommy Wiseau, just like that. I also forgot to mention the main character is also depressed because this girl is way better at writing than he is.
Yeah, so he's jealous depressed, which is like the fucking most bullshit depression.
So he's jealous depressed. She's depressed because she got bullied in high school.
All right, I know there are a few more characters.
We got one of the best characters. I think her name is... They call her Miyako-san.
All right.
Brown-haired girl. She's 21.
Tight.
She's in college. She's not a writer.
No.
She doesn't do anything writing related, and she's friends with an entire group of writers.
That's badass, though. I would love to be friends with a group of people that do weird shit that I don't do.
Top 2 characters, easily.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't do anything weird.
Nice.
She is the vessel used to have things be described to us.
She's like, "The fuck is that shit?" And they're like, "Oh, let me get into it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, what does an editor's job do? Because I don't know. And they'll be like, "An editor does this."
They edit. Oh.
Yeah. So she is the vessel to which things in the show are explained to us. And she is just so fucking nice to everybody.
Yeah.
And doesn't do anything weird. She gets naked a lot, but just because she is a gray-haired girl's only girlfriend.
You haven't convinced me at all yet.
Okay.
But I'm...
So she is her only friend since she got bullied out of high school.
Uh-huh.
And so, like, she'll go over to, like, her... A gray-haired girl only stays in a hotel room. We've only ever seen her in a hotel room, and she's 18. We don't...
Okay.
Haven't seen a family
she
or
has a
anything.
shitload of money, though, from her books.
Oh, yeah, she has a lot of money. So she, like, comes over, like, hey, Nayu, what are you doing? She's like, I'm writing. She's like, why are you naked? She's like, I have to write naked.
Oh, okay,
and
thanks.
And then she's like, you be naked, too. And the girl's like, no, I don't want to do that. And she's like, please. And she's like, all right. And then just, like, sits there. So she's like, she gives into peer pressure easily, but she doesn't, like...
Yeah, people freaked out about that episode.
She's
They're
not into it.
Oh, shit, she's naked too,
She's definitely
boys.
not into it.
Yeah.
And that's her the whole show. She's just like, okay, I guess I don't really want to, but all right, I'll do it for you.
All right.
And that's her attitude.
She
also kind of likes the main character. Kind of.
Next.
We'll come into this. We'll come into this later because it gets bad. Other best character, Haruto Fuwa, I think.
Cool.
He is another dude novelist. He's like 22, I think.
Yeah.
And he's probably the best character. He doesn't really do much, but he's like the most... He like tries the hardest. He tries the hardest out of them.
All right.
Like he has a successful novel manga series, I think.
Okay.
And it's going to be turned into an anime, and people like him because he pretends to be gay on social media, so he seems less threatening to women.
Okay.
But he's the most depressed.
Uh-huh.
Because of how fake he like gets his stuff from.
Uh-huh.
And later in the show, his anime is like the most garbage anime that like kills him inside, and he like cries about it. Like he has the most legitimate depression in this show.
Yeah.
Because he's just like failing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just trying super hard. And he's a pretty nice guy. He can be selfish sometimes. He seems like a real person.
Okay.
For the most part. And then we have main character's little brother.
Hell yeah.
So like for the first 3 episodes of the show, I could not fathom what this character's purpose was. He's like a really, really, really ultra cute little boy who's really feminine and is like the best cook in the entire world. And is just super nice and doesn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
Turns out it's a girl. And she's half related to the main character because it's from her mom, or her mom got remarried to the main character's dad 3 years after his mom died. So it's a girl, but she doesn't tell any of them because probably a good idea because the main character is a fucking huge pervert.
Yeah.
And so he just has a cute little sister. I don't know. I like her. She doesn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
She's just nice
and hot.
She's cute.
All right.
If I were a waifu kind of guy, she'd probably be in there.
All right. Cool.
Except for probably age. Definitely not age-wise.
Age-wise, 100%, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And then we have other minor characters. We got the editor.
How old
the main
are
character's
they?
editor. He's like 28 or something.
Doesn't sound like a minor to me. Yeah, he fucking got you.
He doesn't show up much. He's usually just there to berate the main character into getting his deadlines or lock him up in prison. Editor's prison. It's a dumb joke. Where he locks him up in a prison cell until he finishes his manuscript.
We've all been there.
Which is supposed to be like a super emotional moment or like an achievement where the character finally gets
I did it. I finished my manuscript.
Gets the inspiration to finish his book about sister battle school or whatever the shit it is. There's an accountant lady who looks like she's 18 years old, but she's 36.
Yeah.
And she likes to tease other people for being perverts. So she like goes to the main character's house like, I'm your accountant. I'm going to look through all your shit to see what we can get deductions on. Looks like you like little sisters. I'll call you Oni-sama if you want, or Oni-chan.
Oni-san.
And so she like will like play off of his fantasy, and he gets like all excited. And then the other dude with the glasses who's depressed, he's obsessed with maids, and she'll act like she'll like dress up as a maid to do his taxes. She like doesn't want to fuck them. She just likes to make fun of them while they get sexually frustrated.
That's pretty fun.
She shows up for 2 episodes, I think. And then there's a friend of the main character who's an illustrator who has really weird hair. It's like blue with like a weird purple blob that comes down his front. I think his name is Setsuna.
Okay.
And he's the best butt drawer in the world.
Oh, so he's like, really I need a good ass. Get over here, buddy.
He does illustrations for dirty novels. But he doesn't work for the main character because the main character said, my books aren't good enough for your great work, so you work on good books. Because the main character is also depressed because he's not very good.
Okay.
He kind of sucks.
Yeah, sure.
He writes shitty, dirty novels. According to like every other character.
All right. And what about the girl that's in love with him was like, oh my God, I love your books, right?
Yes, she does love his books, and so does the other normal girl.
Okay.
Miyako-san.
Wait, she likes... Okay,
whatever. She likes the books. We'll get to that.
All right.
She likes the books also. But, like, according to the editor and how generally people accept his, like, novels and how successful he is, he seems a bit shit.
Okay.
And especially when it, like, gives you examples of what his stories are about, seems real bad. It's just cheesy and straightforward.
Gotcha. Neat.
So, and then he gets a new illustrator about halfway through the show because she also has a thing for little sisters, but she's a girl. So that's why he's like, you're freaking hired. But they have a conflict because she is obsessed with how beautiful underwear is. So she wants to draw all the female characters with underwear on, and the main character's like, no, they have to be naked. So they get in a fight over it. She wears panties on her face when she illustrates because it gives her power. That also leads to a scene where gray hair girl gets in a fight with illustrated girl because she's like, naked is best, and the girl's like, panties are best. And then,
you know what? I need to know something. Where do you stand on this whole argument here, Kyle?
I'm a pretty middle ground kind of guy. Like, you gotta start with some, good looking underwears. But then you take them off.
I don't know. I'm just, I'm a purist. I say, all bones.
Okay, just
meat
bones.
And bones, just please.
Meat and bones or just bones?
Just bones, but like good. If meat's there, I'm down.
All right,
you gotta eat the meat to get the bone.
There you go. Okay. So they have a fight about whether panties or nudity is best, and they end up stripping each other naked and like rubbing all over each other, and then they touch their boobs together and have an orgasm.
Been there.
I think that's like all the important characters. You see the main character's dad once, and he refuses to talk to him, and that's all we ever see of that.
Dad refuses to talk to the main character. No,
the main character won't talk to his dad. He's really, really mad at his dad, and he's practically disowned his father because his father remarried 3 years after his mom died.
You got to give it a longer period, like 3.5 at least.
Jesus Christ. It made me so mad when you find that out halfway through the show. He's like, I won't ever talk to my dad again because he got married 3 years after my mom died. It's like,
that asshole.
Give it a rest, you bitch. I think that's everybody who's important or really even around.
Tight.
So, some specific things that make me upset. They did a D&D episode. And the main character is a guy.
Yes.
With a sword.
Well, you didn't give us the right details, but okay.
Every other character, normal girl, pervert girl, and little brother sister are all his sisters in
there
D&D.
We go. That's the kind of shit that I'm looking for.
Except
next campaign, sister campaign.
Yep, it's all sisters. It's 3 dudes and there was 1 dude and his 3 sisters.
Hell yeah.
And they spend most of it naked, and they fight a tentacle monster. They seduce some bandits and then kill them.
Inspiration.
The pervert girl decided that her special power was going to be she has to eat bodily fluids of the other party members to power them up. She's the worst.
Yeah,
she's the worst
intense,
anime character.
I'm like, ew, gnarly.
So my 3 biggest issues with the show.
Yeah, let's get down.
So at one point, gray hair girl, pervert girl, asks normal girl, why are you friends with the main character? She goes, well, we met in college. So we get a flashback.
Yeah, we're back in college now.
We're back in college, and she sees this guy who's always sitting by himself reading these books.
Yeah.
So she figures out his name, and then she goes and buys one of his books.
Okay.
So
that's pretty cool.
That's not a thing people do very often.
No, that's
so
rad.
She reads the entire one of his books, and she's like, I kind of like that. She goes up to him after class. Hey, I read one of your books. And he's like, oh, really? She goes, yeah, I didn't really get this one part of the book. He calls her a dumb slut.
Yeah, you can't just go around asking normal questions.
This is like in a college class, like one of those big ones with the rows that escalate.
Yeah.
There's like 40 people, maybe more.
Mm-hmm.
He just says that. Then he proceeds to continue calling her that 6 or 7 times until she cries in class.
Nice.
That's all we get. That's how they became friends. There's no further explanation after that.
Comedy.
Yeah, that's a real. There probably was a red stamp in there somewhere.
That's comedy.
So first off, there's that. So it's okay. That's okay to just abuse people like that. It's fine.
Uh-huh.
In a later episode, we're already fully aware that little brother is a girl.
Okay.
She's walking home from a party they had. And for some reason, the weird illustrator guy that is friends with the main character but really doesn't have much bearing on the show is also walking home from somewhere else, and he sees this character from behind and he goes, whoa, shit, this person has a great ass.
Yeah, because he's all about butts.
I
He's the
need
butt
to
boy.
see it so I can learn how to draw it. So he goes, hey, girl, who I'm pretty guaranteed is not even close to 18, let me see your butt.
Nice.
And then she's like, what? He's like, let me see that ass. And she's like, no. He goes, I want to see it. Like chases after her. And she's like running away from a person she doesn't know who's trying to take off her clothes. This is supposed to be comedy, by the way.
It's pretty funny.
And then he grabs and he rips her pants off.
I'm laughing.
And sees her ass. I was like, man, this sexual assault sure is hilarious. I love
if I had a nickel
assault.
for how many times people did that to me and I was just laughing up a storm the whole time, they're just trying to get in my ass and I'm just like, no, senpai, no.
Yeah, man, I love that stuff.
Makes me fucking lose
so
my shit,
funny.
dude.
There was probably a red stamp in there.
And he just stamped it right on the ass.
So we have those. So we have those two very, very, very egregious things to do to other human beings.
Hell yeah.
As comedy.
Yeah.
Then in this third thing we're going to talk about, they're playing D&D.
Mm-hmm.
Perv girl gets powers from
juicing it up.
fucking on other people.
Yeah.
She's like, oh man, we need to power up in the middle of this. We're in the middle of a city fighting bandits who ambushed us in the middle of a city. I gotta fuck on one of y'all to get powers. And so she tackles normal girl.
Uh-huh.
And then proceeds to hijack her character and describe them having sex. She's like, but then normal hair girl's like, oh yeah, I love it. No one's ever touched my ass before. And then I'm like, yeah, it is. And then I do this and that. And normal girl's absolutely speechless. She's petrified. She doesn't know what to do. She hasn't played D&D. She doesn't know. And on the screen, while she's doing this, there's a bullet note that says, please don't ever do anything sexual to the other people you're playing D&D with unless you know them really well. So let me get let me get this straight.
You can, as long as you know someone really well, you can do whatever the fuck you want to them.
Let me get this straight. You can call a girl you don't know a dumb slut until she cries in public. Mm-hmm.
Totally cool.
You can chase after an underage girl and rip her clothes off without her consent.
People do that all the time.
You better not try to have sex with anybody in D&D without consent. Do not. Do not do that.
Don't you dare.
Don't ever.
Don't.
At that point, I was like, at that point, I couldn't handle it anymore.
Kyle, that's a joke. Everyone fucks each other in D&D. That's all we do.
Yeah, but why do they have to? Why do they have to have a PSA for the least offensive of the three things?
You know, it's just Kyle comedy.
And then nothing ever happens. Like, it's just like, hey guys, isn't this show funny and sexy? Look how funny and sexy this show is. And then the last 5 minutes of the show is like, I'm glasses guy. My life sucks. I'm main character. I'm not a very good writer. I'm gray-haired girl. I don't have any friends except for I have a lot of friends. And it's like, you're not giving me anything. When characters cry, I don't give a shit. Because nothing bad has happened to them, really.
Well, I mean, you know, when you think about it, they all kind of had it coming. Like, gray-haired girl, she's probably just trying to fuck all her friends. They're like, yo, no, we can't be friends with you.
Yeah.
Asshole guy. His mom deserved to die, you know?
Definitely.
Like, she was probably fucking on other nerds, and that's where all this, like, sister shit came from, and you don't want any of that. Glasses guy, you know what? He probably actually writes, like smut. Like, he probably was the one that wrote this whole thing.
I think he does write dirty novels as well. Yeah.
So he probably wrote this whole show, so, like,
probably.
You know, he's allowed to feel that bad.
So, we come to the last episode, where it's all supposed to come to a head, you know?
Yeah, we're there.
This was a pretty serious episode. Not many jokes. There were stamps. There's always stamps, even not when there's jokes. Because why not? So in this episode, it changes the intro where the main character, instead of appearing before all of his friends, because in the intro he's really sad, and then he sees all his friends and then he's okay. In this one, it's only the gray-haired girl, because in the episode before, he finally admits to Glasses Guy that he does like her. But he's not going to go out with her because he's mad that she's more successful than he is.
I've rolled my eyes like 300 times.
You've rolled your eyes hard enough to take down some skyscrapers.
Oh, man. It's... Yeah.
So I thought, you know, I was like, maybe, you know, there's a 1% chance that it'll be a good reason why he won't date her. Nope.
Never.
It's because he isn't as successful. He's like, if I get married to her, I'll be the guy who married the successful novelist. He's like, I want to be the successful novelist.
Well, then get good.
So in this last episode, like, the only interaction he has with gray-haired girl is she, like, tackles him. Like, you're the only one for me, said Pie. You're the best. I want you to put your ass in my ass. and again, he's just like, get off me. I don't want that.
Well, I mean, to be fair.
Are you saying you don't want my ass in your ass, Chris?
I am right now saying that. I don't want your ass in my ass.
I don't believe you.
Okay, well.
Get on the floor.
Oh, shit.
And so even in the last episode, he's like, I love her. But then he's just a huge asshole. Glasses guy has a crush on normal girl, but he gave up on that because he's kind of a bitch.
Yeah, I for sure, like, the first episode, I was like, all right, so these characters are dating and they're, like, normal people, and this girl is single and she wants to fuck other guy who just wants to fuck sisters, and then we've got the brother over there that's actually a sister, like, 90% chance it's a sister. It turns out to be a sister. Those were all the characters that I got to know, but I definitely thought those two were dating.
So, main character gets an anime. He gets the end of the episode, the editor's like, you get to make an anime, and he's like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, and he goes, that's because one of the other animes fell through. So you're left to guess whether it's gray-haired girl doesn't get an anime or Glasses Guy doesn't get a second season because the first season was garbage. So you're left to guess as to who didn't get it. He's like, but I need you to understand, yours is a replacement. You're not first choice. So budget's low and it's probably not going to be very good. Do you still want to do it? And he's like, yeah. I'll do whatever it takes to be the protagonist. That's like the last 3 episodes you find out that that's what he wants to be, the protagonist of his own life or something. Because he's a fucking weirdo. And so he's like, yeah, I'll do the anime. So we end the show with him not even mentioning to her that she's important to him, even though she already knows it. Because when he admitted that he loved her, she was in the room asleep, but not actually asleep. So
Classic.
She's aware now.
Yeah, no, I actually saw that. And she was all smiling underneath her stupid blanket and shit.
and little sister doesn't say anything. The episode actually ends with her being like, I really should tell him the truth. And that's that.
About being a little sister?
Yeah.
So everyone else knows it?
No one, well, the friend group doesn't know. Everyone else knows. So, like, the family knows.
Ass guy knows?
No. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, how do you...
Accountant knows. And in one episode, she's like, only my brother and his group of friends don't know. I go to school as a girl.
Yeah.
So she doesn't.
God, that's fucking weird.
So she doesn't say anything. Glasses guy's like, I just need to work harder. Like, I need to stop being a mopey piece of shit, and I'm gonna get in and I'm gonna do this. Because, like, he's at the store, and then someone's like, did you get this Glasses guy's book or whatever? And they're like, no, the anime was shit. He's like, no, but the book is really good. You should try it. And so he's, like, kind of happy. And I'm like, oh, good for you, man. Try harder. Be better. Get good.
Better. Get good, nerd.
And then I think maybe, like, the best part of the end of the episode is normal girl approaches the editor guy, and she's like, I've been exposed to a lot of writing these past few days, and can I like have a part-time job with you? I kind of want to learn how to be an editor. And he's like, you got it. And she's like, I'm really excited.
Yeah.
And then like that's the end.
That's cool.
Like he gets his anime that's going to be shitty, but he's going to do it anyway.
Nito Bandito, dude. I don't know. That sure sounds like a chore.
I feel like the show is just like, hey, are you a young man? You can be a raging asshole who is an absolute like sexual degenerate, and you'll be okay in life. Be like this guy. It's okay to be like this, and everyone will like you. Your own sister's probably going to want to fuck you. Your accountant might want to fuck you. Your best friends, everyone is going to want to do it.
Yeah. Great. Good shit, dude. Man. So thank you for watching that, and thank you for sharing things with me about the show.
I can't wait to do this again.
I'm excited to see what's going to happen next season. It might just be like a really shitty, like shonen style anime. It might be another like incredibly sexual show. It might be something that just looks really bad, or like the dialogue is complete garbage. Who knows?
You know what the worst part's going to be?
What?
Is next season, or whenever it won't be next season. Whenever they do this show again, because they're going to make more.
Yeah.
Or they want to.
Yeah.
That probably won't be the worst show. And I'll watch the worst show, but I'll probably watch the second season of this show.
Fuck? What's wrong with you?
Because I'm invested in shit.
No,
I don't like it.
I
don't like it at all.
All right, so I guess
maybe it will just be the worst because it's already the worst.
I mean, yeah, but who knows, man?
It's gonna be hard to top that or bottom that.
All right, so I guess let's wrap shit up here.
Yeah.
All right. Unless you have any final thoughts. Did you enjoy your experience? Was this a show that you could recommend to somebody?
I like being mad.
Yeah.
We all know that about me. So, I mean, I had a good time being mad, but this was a legitimately horrible piece of media for me to watch.
Nice.
It was garbage. But I'm pretty sure if you like our logo, hit up Erin at turvytops.com. She's great and really easy to work with. Am I doing good so far?
Yeah.
You can find us on Twitter.
Oh, no, you're fucking up.
I'm not going to do it in the right order. Instant Ramen Pod. Podcast didn't fit on Twitter.
You're fucking up so much right now.
Okay, then take it from me. If you don't like what I'm doing, just take it.
So yeah, if you liked our logo, you could always hit up Erin at turvytops.com. Amazing work, constantly like good shit. She's just a great person. If you liked our intro artist is Tom Nasser. That's NASR. You can find him on YouTube, SoundCloud, Facebook. He exists. He's got great music out there. And now, Kyle, where can people find us? That's what you were supposed to do with like Chris.
On Facebook, Insta Ramen Podcast. Instagram, Insta Ramen Podcast.
Nailing it.
Twitter, Insta Ramen Pod. Podcast didn't fit. Do you have a YouTube?
We have a YouTube. We have a Gmail.
Oh, you had it at Gmail?
We always had that.
Is it instantronepodcast@gmail.com?
Dude, nailed it.
And then... Oh, man. I was so ready for that. I wasn't ready for this.
That's fine. There's also a blog. Sometimes we post things about that. So that link will be in the description below, as well as every once in a while I stream shit. Usually it's with Kyle or our friends or some shit. Every once in a while I do it. I don't know. I want to at some point stream Steins Gate Zero before the show actually comes out in spring. So hopefully soon we'll be able to do that. It's
okay.
No, we'll watch Steins Gate whenever. Like you let me know when, and we'll get on that shit.
Right,
Kyle.
yeah.
We'll just shit all over it.
Can't wait.
But yeah, so that's been our episode. Thanks again for listening, you guys. Next week, Juan's gonna be back home. Don't know what we're gonna talk about yet, but I'm sure it's gonna be fine. It's not gonna be okay. It's gonna be fucking terrible, but it's okay. Whatever. Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah. So, anyways, this is bye from Chris
and bye from Kyle.
Hey, Kyle, don't forget.
Just add hot water.
Nice, dude. Nailed it.
Actually, I remember the actual slogan.
Dude, because you've been fucking up like constantly this whole episode.
Just because you're right doesn't mean you have to say it. Okay, you kind of do.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll say whatever the fuck I want to say. It's my podcast. It's my podcast. You're my guest.